Oh my God. Let's talk about Shakira's entire dating history. Part 1. Before we begin, I have pimple cream on my chin. I know I'm going to get comments on it. They're too cis. It's day 3 with them, so I only have 80 more days with them. 2, my mother is Colombian. I spent every summer of my life in Colombia. Everything that happens, I am on Shakira's side. ¿Qué quieres que yo haga? ¿Qué quieres que yo haga? I literally have to. I have to talk to my mom every day. There's no way that I can just... So, that's it. Shakira Isabel was born February 2nd, 1977. Tomorrow's her B-Day. That's right. She is an Aquarius. She's an Aquarius, Cancer, Aries. Incredible stuff. She is so painfully an Aquarius that as I begin telling you this story, you will see how painfully of an Aquarius this woman is. In Arabic, Shakira means grace, or like a woman with grace. If you speak Arabic and that's wrong, I would love for you to correct me, because the last thing I want to do is sound like a dumbass. You already saw me use a triangle, so I'm happy with you correcting me. So Shakira was born in Barranquilla. I have to. Like, what do you want from me? I am that person that I'm like, they're like, oh, where are you from? Like, well, my mom is from Colombia. That's who I am. So Shakira was born in Barranquilla. Her father is Lebanese and her mother is Colombian. And she's like the last of 9, but I believe they are half siblings. Shakira started belly dancing at a very young age. And by the age of 10, she was already performing and writing her own songs. She was already performing at talent competitions and writing her own songs. Which, like, me too. Me and my cousin would write songs all the time over her Mac desktop that was blue. Like, but whatever, Shakira, go off. But yeah, by the time she was like 10, she was already like a local celebrity in Barranquilla. So when Shakira was a toddler, she had an older brother that passed away in a motorcycle accident. So when Shakira was 9, she wrote her first song called Tus gafas oscuras, your dark glasses. Because she said that her dad always wore dark glasses to cover up his grief about losing his son. And I want you to hear these lyrics. If you speak a Spanish, it's too poetic for a 9-year-old. She's such an Aquarius. Okay. Tus gafas oscuras me hacen vibrar cada vez que te ocultan. Tus gafas oscuras me hacen sentir que yo soy de otro lugar. Y cuando me miras se encoge mi cuerpo y me hago chiquita. Y cuando me miras me atrapa tu mundo y me siento distinta. I don't even know how to explain that. But it's like an exchange of spirit. Like, I want to see her in a talent competition. She was 11. I think this is important stuff. How are you going to know how the woman loves if you don't know who she is? You know what I mean? Part 2, Shakira. I feel like a lot of people don't know that she has dark hair. Like, I feel like people only know her as a blonde. Nay. I knew her with dark hair. I knew the band before it was cool. Shut up. Let me. Really quickly, my mom has like an uncle or a cousin or whatever, someone that was getting married, and somebody was like, oh, I know a girl that sings, and he auditioned this girl and he was like, absolutely not. That girl sounds like a goat. And I don't know who you are, Theo. Estúpido huevón. Love you though. You never know, Theo. Love you though. Hope you're well. So when Shakira was 11, she was in a talent show, and I'm going to show you a clip. If you're new to my series, this is what I do. This is what I do online, and you're going to see, embarrassingly, the reflection of my ring light. And this is probably going to be a 62-part series. Yep, there it is. Tefi, you should clean your laptop. It's part of the lore. Here she is. She's doing Madonna. Forgot to mention. Those are my fingerprints. Like in Almost Famous, when he's like, how old am I? It's like 11. 11! She's 11. Español. A lot of attitude, and I like it. Through these performances, a local theater producer helped her get an audition with Sony Corp. She was 13, she got signed to a record deal. Actually, this local theater producer was on a flight to Bogota. with a Sony Corp executive and told her about this girl and held an audition for Shakira in the airport for when they landed. And that's how she got the deal. The executive gave a cassette of Shakira to Sony, and Sony said this girl is terrible. But the executive wouldn't give up. So the executive tricked Sony executives to go to a local bar where Shakira performed. Yes. And she did the belly dancing, and she did like her signature voice. And they signed her to a 3-album contract after that night. In 1990, Shakira comes out with Magia, and it does not do well. I die. Then she does Peligro, and she refuses to do any promo for it because she hates it. She takes a break, and then she is in a novela. She acts in a novela for a while. And then at 18, she records every person I feel that spoke Spanish, especially at least in Miami. We had this cassette. Pies descalzos, and it went to 1 million. Like ¿Dónde estás, corazón? Ayer te busqué. Part 3, Shakira, TikTok. You know I love you. You know I love you. But why are you recommending loud ass music to me for a video? When have I ever gone with your first choice? You know me. I know you. Do you know me? In 1997, Shakira has her first public relationship, and I can see why, because I have eyes. Osvaldo Rios Alonso. He's a Puerto Rican actor, singer, guitarist, and he was mostly famous for being in telenovelas. My grandma was a big fan. He was 17 years older than Shakira. Well, when they met, he had already been divorced 2 times. So, you know, you like a man that thinks he knows a lot about life, you know? Turns out he doesn't know a lot about having a wife. I rather, you know, he knows a lot about divorce, and that is incredibly important. Why did you guys break up? None of my business. One of his wives was Sully Diaz, who you might know from the Disney's Princess Protection Program. She was in this novela called Coralito that was like the biggest thing ever. But the girlfriend that he had before Shakira pressed charges, DV charges, and he spent 18 months in jail. And in that case, his ex-wife testified against him in the court case with his ex-girlfriend. The way it was reported in the media, they were like very, very casual. He says that they were very serious though. I'm sure. Here's a quote from him. We had plans to get married and everything. We had seen the house. Recalled Osvaldo, revealing that to this day he is still friends with Tonino, the singer's brother. Okay. I want you to know that all the media very much favored Shakira, because when you look up the breakup, instead of saying Osvaldo broke up with Shakira, it all says Osvaldo claims he broke up with Shakira. But there are also a lot of reports saying that Shakira broke up with him because Osvaldo was giving these reports about how they were serious and that they were looking at houses together, and Shakira was like, you're delusional. But Osvaldo says, I actually broke up with her because I knew how special she was and that she needed to spread her wings. So, oh my God, thank you. But that is true. She did need to spread her wings, and, you know, he maintains that he knew her talent right away and that she would be very famous. Around this time, she goes on a Latin American tour, 20 cities. Let me read you this quote. She blew everyone's expectations out of the water. Sony Corp gave Shakira $100,000 because they projected that Pies Descalzos would only sell 100,000 copies. It ended up selling over 5 million copies over the course of a few years. Part 4, Shakira. So in that year that they dated, she won 3 Latin Billboard awards. But even though it was casual, she was still very heartbroken over Osvaldo. And here's a snippet of a song, Tú, that she wrote for him. Te regalo mis silencios, te regalo mi nariz. Yo te doy hasta mis huesos, pero quédate aquí. Basically, I'll give you anything, so you stay with me. She also writes a lot about how she would never let him leave a room she built for him. Doesn't matter. I also share that love language. Whatever. Listen, when an Aquarius falls, everybody talks about air signs like they're so unattached. When an air sign attaches, that's the most lovey-dovey shit in the world. Then comes the album that really makes her ¿Dónde están los ladrones? So there's a story behind this title that I feel every Colombian person in the world knows. When she was 19, she had been touring so much, and she had written She had written enough songs to fill an entire briefcase. And when she was at the airport in Colombia, she like left it somewhere and she looked back and it was gone forever. So she experienced a lot of writer's block for many months and she didn't know. I mean, we've all felt that. Like, how many times in my youth have I written something for school and then it accidentally like deletes or something and I didn't save it? Like, fuck my life. I know that doesn't correlate to this incredible genius album, but like, I'm just trying. It took her 3 more years to finish an album, and this is the album. Produced by Shakira and Emilio Estefan. Miami royalty, that's right, Gloria Estefan, aka Miami Sound Machine. And I love Emilio. I love you, Emilio. You're the sweetest man in the world. I could read you the stats. They're all amazing stats. I could show you the MTV Unplugged, and it's an incredible Unplugged. Please go watch it. She was the first Latin American artist to headline MTV Unplugged. So, what? And this album marked her like United States crossover, which barely any Latin American artist did. Then we meet Antonio, who's Argentinian. I don't mean any shade by that. Maybe it's because my dad is Brazilian, like the Argentinian, you know? What can you do? My dad used to say if you wanted to beat an Argentinian player in soccer, all you had to do was put mirrors on your shoes because they're so vain. Because they're so vain. Not funny, not funny. So in the year 2000, Antonio, who is the son of a former Argentinian president and like a banker dude, a banker slash lawyer, excuse me. My mom says that if you do many things at once, it means you're not good at any of them. Shakira says it was love at first sight. She was 23 and he was 27. He was working on the re-election of his dad and she was working on promoting her album. Part 5, Shakira, I'm already getting the Tefi. Get to it already. Oh yeah, this is it. So she was with this man for like 11 years. Yeah, she was with this man for like 11 years. And in 2009, she did a Rolling Stone interview where they asked her about her boyfriend, and she said that her body is asking to reproduce. Yeah, I ignore it though. When I was like 27, that started with me, that I was like, baby, and I'm like, who are you? Who do you think you are? We're gonna go get a corn muffin and Dunkin' Donuts. Shut the fuck up. So this is the quote. My body feels like it is asking to reproduce, to have a huge belly and carry babies. I'll talk about it later. She tells the new issue of Rolling Stone on newsstands today. My boyfriend is 6 feet tall and sometimes I feel like I'm his keychain, a small thing. Well, you're not. You're beautiful. She's like 5'1", right? I have an itch. Thank you for helping. But Shakira was adamant that she did not want to get married. It's funny how the papers want to see you married and then they want to see you divorced. Well, I won't do any of it. Well, she later says this in an interview where she's sitting next to her future ex-husband, Pique. It's funny, to tell you the truth, marriage scares the shit out of me, the Colombian singer revealed to 60 Minutes with Pique sitting next to her. I don't want him to see me as the wife. I want him to see me as his girlfriend, lover, his girlfriend, his forbidden fruit. You know, I want to keep him on his toes. I've seen that interview. So have you probably. I want him to think that anything's possible depending on behavior. During this time, he also started managing her and cheated her out of $100 million. And cheated on her with various women. That during this time, if you hear heartbreak songs, it's because she would discover him with another woman. There is so much to this, but I know what you want. I know what you want. So when they break up because he can't stop cheating on her, literally, one day we'll get into it, you would think the man was getting paid to cheat on her. Insanity. She explodes during this time. She's won Grammys. Fijación oral comes out, oral fixation. She does not speak any English. She now speaks like what, 5-6 languages. She doesn't speak any English. Gloria Estefan. You don't even realize how much you need Miami. You don't even realize. Gloria Estefan taught her English. Would sit down with her and go through English lessons together. That's why we have Whenever, Wherever. You go thank Gloria today. Gloria, every year for somebody you looked up to, at the end of the year, I would always do you. One time I did Nelson Mandela, I will say. Then we get She-Wolf. In 2008, Forbes, in 2008, the accent. In 2008, Forbes named her the 4th top earning female artist ever. Part 6, Shakira. Okay, so 2009, we get She-Wolf. She signs a $300 million contract with Live Nation, which would be in effect for 10 years. She sings at the inauguration of Michelle LaVaughn Robinson, Obama's husband. Okay, so Olive, if you've been watching my series, you know Olive helps me with my research because she's a sweet, beautiful angel. Why in an asterisk after we talk about her success during this period, she does asterisk. This leads us to Waka Waka. Thank you. That's true. So in January of 2011, Shakira posts this letter to her website, okay? And if you are a young person, first and foremost, I would like to hocus pocus the youth out of you, but I won't, okay? But in 2011, we didn't have the social media presence that we do today, and celebrities weren't using it as much like they are today to connect with their fans. So if you wanted to find out what your favorite artist was going through, or if they wanted you to know, they would post something like a blog entry to their website, right? You're looking at a Britney Spears fan club member. Anyway, since August 2010, we made a mutual decision. She's announcing her breakup from Antonio. We made a mutual decision to take time apart from our romantic relationship. Throughout this time, we have continued to work together hand in hand, have remained close, and have kept the details absolutely private until now. We view this period of separation as temporary. Narrator, it was not. And as a time of individual growth as we continue to be partners, Aquarius. It's just in our business and professional lives. She's added that he would continue to oversee and conduct Shakira's business matters. He stole so much money from me, babe. Managers have a tendency to do that. So that letter sparked a ton of cheating rumors on Shakira's part, and I'm going to tell you why. So Shakira met Pique in like the spring of 2010 because she filmed the video for Waka Waka. I don't know why I said it like that. In Madrid, and he was featured in the video. He says this on 60 Minutes. I wasn't a soccer fan, so I didn't know who he was. I mean, valid. What? Whose side are we? All right, I'm just saying. When I saw the video, I was like, that one's kind of cute. And then someone decided to introduce us. So she is 10 years older than him. She was 33 and he was 23. And she recalled telling whoever introduced them, saying, like, this guy is just still a boy. But after meeting, she started renting a home in Barcelona, where he's from. Barcelona. And she started learning Catalan, which is a language spoken in Barcelona. Part 7. Okay, so she was learning Catalan, right? So like when you really like a guy, my friend Kim Congdon, who's a genius, says, you know when you really like a guy, you start shaving your big toe. I feel like her learning Catalan was her big toe. Pretend that makes sense. Too for me. So then later, fans are like, hold up. You guys are just breaking up now? What are you talking about? You've been in Barcelona with this guy, Gerard, Pique. Yeah, his name is Gerard. And then Shakira came on. She's like, no. Antonio and I broke up like months before the letter. And they were still like, but Waka Waka was... It doesn't matter. Listen, to me it doesn't matter because we know Antonio was cheating his ass off. And I'd like to read to you a poem by Candy, the Real Housewife of Atlanta, Candy. Her song, Don't Think I'm Not. When you're out in the club, don't think I'm not. Even when you're out making love, don't think I'm not. Even when you're feeling good in somebody's spot, getting hot, don't stop. Just don't think I'm not, 'cause I'm out getting mine. And I just feel like, love you, Candy. Right after Shakira split with Antonio, the news is like, what's going on? Because you've been seen with this dude, and Pique goes and tells E! News, no, Shakira, that's my friend. But here they are, February 2011. Wow, he really looks 23. If you're 23 right now, you probably don't see it. But when you pass 23, men have a 23 face. That's a 23-year-old's face. You know what I mean? Ugh. But then, in March 2011, she seemingly announces their relationship on Instagram, posting this photo of us with the caption, Les presento a mi sol. I present to you my son. like not S-O-N. S-U. I present to you my light, basically. Mi sol. You know what I'm saying. All right. Then things ramp up real quick. Pretty much immediately, they buy a house in Barcelona. But reflecting on this, Shakira sounds a little, I don't want to say the word remorseful. She sounds a little hurt about it. She said this, as a soccer player, he wanted to play football and to win titles, and I had to support him. It's giving Gisele. Gisele Bunch. Do you like my Portuguese accent? I mean, one of the two of us had to make a sacrifice, right? Either he would stop his contract with Barcelona and move to the US with me, where my career is, or I would have to do that instead. Well, yeah, girl, whatever. You're an angel. But they were in love. November 2012, she's preggers. 2015, she's pregnant again. Every interview in this era, she's gushing over this man. Gushing. I get it. You're excited. I get it. She says, I've written many love songs. I'll tell you in the next part. Okay, party. So in all these interviews that she does about him, she like gushes over him repeatedly. She calls him her prince. Oh, Shakira. We've all been there. It's fine. It's cool. She says this. I've written to People magazine, I think. Whatever. I've written many love songs for Gerard. I've written many love songs for Gerard, but it's never enough. I feel that he deserves a million love songs written for him. Seeing me in love is a constant state. There are no questions as the answer is that it is simply here. Hi, Shakira. She's seen it like a million bajillion soccer games. I feel like for many a year when she wasn't working, if we wanted paparazzi photos of her, if we wanted a glimpse of what she was doing, I had to move a little. We wanted a glimpse of what she was doing. It was at a soccer game. The point of this is that she sacrificed a lot to be with Gerard. In 2017, she gets like a hemorrhage on her vocal cord, and this greatly affects her family. Of course, she learns sign language. Aquarians. Enough learning. Enough. Whatever. Anyway, she learned sign language, but it was a great stress on her family, especially because she had to cancel her tour. She tells people that in these moments, she lost her identity because music and being a singer was everything that she felt that she was. Her family and her sons also had to learn sign language. They're all Aquarians, by the way. Pique, her two sons, Aquarians. They probably learned it in 2 days. It's just fucking believable. Aquarians get to be the future and Cancers are what? The mother? Sick. Rock and roll. She tells many interviewers there were many, many moments in her life during this period where she could not get out of bed. I know this is a quote that she told The Guardian that I don't know. You tell me how you feel. He jokes that you would think you would want to... Oof. He jokes that you would think you would want your wife to shut up, but then when I had to remain quiet, he felt like one of those ex-convicts who are given their freedom and they don't know what to do with it. Okay. I hope that quote is like a hindsight for her where she looks back and she's like, what the fuck? So they were never actually married. They were domestic partners or like civil union, whatever the fuck. Anyway, in 2020, she meets with 60 Minutes. She sits down with 60 Minutes. She meets. And she says, I want him to think anything is possible depending on his behavior. Is that about marriage, about why they aren't married? Does that not sound... I want him to think that anything is possible depending on his behavior. When? Part 9, Shakira. Here's a photo of Shakira and Pique, September 2021. Oh my god. I've been there. Usually in an Uber though. How was the yacht? Immediately this comes to mind. Immediately. And remember they said that they were arguing about soccer? People were like, what could they be talking about? And she was like, soccer. I love her. I love her. In March 2022, Pique is doing an interview and he says that he likes riling up soccer fans more than he likes being intimate with his wife. Who says that? Who says that? I will say a lot of people... I mean, you get a lot of like DMs, right? So I got a lot of people DMing me when I made that first video about them saying, you know, they've been in an open relationship for years, or like she would cheat on him all the time, or he's always had girls, why is she acting surprised? Doesn't matter. at the end of the day, she's right. At the end of the day. You think I'm gonna go against Gloria Estefan? Are you fucking crazy? So in June 2022, they announced their split, but nobody's focusing on the split because that was a weird. No one's focusing on their split because they're obsessed. The media is obsessed with her taxes and her finances, right? Also, apparently they were fighting a lot because he wanted Shakira to invest in something, allegedly, and Shakira didn't want to. Duh. If you don't know about Shakira's issues in Spain with taxes, whatever, I'm going to read you a short little explanation, okay? Shakira's ongoing court case. The Spanish government has charged Shakira with defrauding the country of 14.5 million euros in taxes, roughly $13.9 million, between 2012 and 2014. Three separate government entities have accused her of 6 fiscal crimes. Fiscal meaning Shakira breaks her silence in September of 2022, and she does a digital L cover story, right? She described her breakup from Gerard, incredibly difficult in her first comments, since the couple of 11 years. Isn't it crazy? She was with that guy for 11 years, and then she was this guy for 11 years, and 11 is 22, and I was born on July 22nd. Way to make it about me. I'm a Leo moon. So the Hips Don't Lie singer, 45, explained in her October, my bad. It came out in September, so I'm not a stupid. That she has remained purposely quiet since her split. It's hard to talk about, especially because I'm still going through it and because I'm in the public eye and because of our separation. It's not like a regular separation. Also, it's been tough on not only me, but also for my kids. It's been incredibly difficult. Part 9, Shakira. Okay. What I was gonna say before is that Elle said, the Waka Waka performer claimed that paparazzi had been camping outside her house 24/7 since the news broke, and she's been trying to protect her children. She's more than a Waka Waka performer. Are there not a million other things that she's done? Whatever. And I have no beef with Waka Waka. But, my cousin, she works in music, and she told me that every day since Waka Waka came out, where she met Gerard, that it gets 1 million streams. It is beloved, that song. Beloved. So Shakira also blames the separation on both of their ambitious careers. She says this, after Milan and Sasha, her 2 kids, start school, the family has to decide whether to move to the US for her music career or stay in Barcelona where the athlete plays. How many years are you in Barcelona, Shakira? Okay. How long have I been waiting for you? ¿Cuántos años esperándote, Shakira? Okay. Welcome home, baby. Welcome to this side. Welcome. Goes on to say this. One of the 2 had to make that effort and that sacrifice, and I did it. I put my career in Gerard, in second gear, and I came to Spain to support him so he could play soccer and win titles. And that was a sacrifice of love. You know what she's saying? Giselle said the same thing. Isn't it crazy they divorced because he wouldn't retire? And not Tom. That's for another time. So now we know that, not from snooping, Shakira told us herself, and people were like, mind your business. Shakira didn't want us to, okay? So now we know that the biggest reason they broke up, besides their conflict and besides, the issues with all that, is that he is now dating this 23-year-old, which is crazy. I saw that person's comment earlier. It is crazy that she started dating a 23-year-old, and now he's dating a 23-year-old. So Clara Chia Marti. So apparently they've been dating for 2 years when she was 21. I'm going to say this. It is impossible that I'm not going to get comments about what she looks like. And I think that's too easy. It's too easy of a joke. It's too easy of a target. I have this rule when talking about women, when I'm criticizing them, that their terrible personalities are enough. That's enough material. Okay? Because I want to move beyond it. You know what I mean? Like, the shitty stuff that you do is enough for me to make fun of. It's punching down, and that's cheap. And it's tacky. However, I understand that Shakira is beloved and how angry everyone is, so I understand. So they met because Gerard has a production company where he films TV and whatever, other projects, movies, and she serves the beverages there. Yo, you could be the most beautiful, successful woman in the world. it'll still... That was part 10. This is part 11. So that's how they met. He is 12 years older than her. As we all know, in her new song, she talks about how, you know, she discovered the affair through her jam. She said that she found the jar of jam empty, strawberry jam, I believe. And nobody likes jam in her house, Pique or her kids, so she knew, you know, somebody had been there. And there's certain hints like I am worth 2 of 22, and she was like 22 when Shakira found out, so she's saying, you know, she's like worth double her, even though, you know, she may be older than this person, that she's worth, you know, whatever. You know what I'm saying? We speak the language. We're here. I see you. We see each other. She also mentions her in-laws, and I can translate it for you in English. You left me, the in-laws, as my neighbors, media outlets at my door, and debt in the treasury. But also, apparently, according to reports, that Gerard's mother, Montserrat, welcomed his new love with arms wide open, and Shakira feels very betrayed by this because duh. So because Shakira and her mother-in-law, ex-mother-in-law, are neighbors, Shakira has begun to build a fence and put this on the balcony facing her ex-mother-in-law's house. There is also this video circulating of Pique's mom telling Shakira to shut up. I'll play the video for you now. Yo, if he'll grab my face and tell me to shut up, I hope you guys would send me letters in jail. There's also a screen recording from 2021 of a Zoom in Pique's house, and Clara's there. Pique's house meaning Shakira's house.
Jugando por 4 duros ahora, no me jodas.
There we go.
Continúa la polémica tras la ruptura de Pique y Shakira y la nueva relación del futbolista con su compañera de trabajo Clara Chia. Se ha desvelado unas imágenes en...
That girl wanted to be seen. That girl wanted to be seen. She wanted to be known. Well, the good news is now you got her. We all know that after the song came out, Gerard posted this picture to his Instagram story. I guess to like own it. To leave look how many comments that has. 775,000 fucking comments of people calling him a dweeb. Some of those comments though are... But apparently this isn't like the first time that Shakira catches him red-handed. In 2012, she caught him with Bar Raffaele, who is a model who is Leonardo DiCaprio's ex-girlfriend, Swimsuit Illustrated. Part 12, Shakira, and featuring others. And I think these are final thoughts, and I think that he's an idiot, and I think about the kids a lot because, I don't know, a lot of what he does is really, really immature, and I'll tell you why. And I understand that Shakira is an artist, and she only writes about what she knows. Her music is so... If you only know her commercial successes, I really implore you to do a deep dive in her music. It is so sentimental. It is so emotional. It is so raw. And of course, she makes music that we can all dance to as well. But there's a lot about Shakira that she leaves in her music, and it really does come from her life. And it's like she gives us a little piece of her fucking soul in those songs. So I understand why, you know, if she saw a woman in her house, if she saw a woman eating her freaking jam, if she saw her husband parading around with somebody, why she would feel like she needed to express herself. I would pop. I don't know how some women stay quiet for so long, and I would pop. So basically, there's fans all around him. It's kind of like a circle, whatever. He's like in the center, and he has a microphone. His son is sitting next to him, and there's like hosts or whatever. And I'll show it to you. But his son is there. Whatever, I can't find it, and I can feel people commenting being like, where is it? Okay, anyway. He plays the song. They like bring up the song. He like plays the song. And his son is sitting next to him, and he's like dying laughing. I think that's so fucked up. Even TikTok is done with him. But can I ask you something? Cassio, why did you send Gerard free watches when Shakira compares herself to a Rolex, and he compares she compares the new girl to Casio. Why would you do that? Crazy. But anyway, I feel like it's very messy, and I hope that they have opportunities with their children to explain what's going on, because I think learning from the media is dangerous. And most of all, I hope that their father shows some kind of remorse for, betraying the mother of his children. I think that's really important. Es para matarte. Es para matarte. ¿Qué hijo? ¿Qué nivel de hijo? Oh, they got me. They got me. All right, fine. Spread the misinformation. Don't tell anybody it came from me. Whatever. You know what? I'm going to say this. It does sound like something he would do, and that's terrible. If somebody said that about me, oh, do you know that Tefi played the song about this person that she hurt deeply and wounded deeply on an international stage? And she played the song in front of everyone and laughed in front of her kid that she shares with the person that she hurt. I hope people would be like, that doesn't sound like her at all. But the fact that we think that sounds like him. Have I ever met the man? No. Do I know the man? In many ways. Have I ever met a man in my life? I've never seen a man in my entire life. Only rumors, legend, fantasies, and fable. And I haven't liked one thing I've heard about them. The kids really do say the darndest thing. My brother snitched me out before too, though. I'm not trying to relate to Pique, but I'd be like, Mom, I studied all night. And he was like, when? After video games? I was like, bro.